I was asked to do a video on this mainly because of Zuby. He and I are cool. You've seen us together on the Blaze. I've also appeared on his podcast as well, and awesome dude. And he's, for those that don't know who Zuby is, he's a political commentator, a rapper as well, and he got recently suspended on Twitter for this weirdo reporting, and among probably other people, brags about it, weaponizing it essentially, and he says okay dude, and I don't know if this person is trans or something like that, but apparently that's not acceptable for him to say okay dude. That's literally all he said. Like, 2 words was in the post. I don't know if somebody maybe in the comments has it, but yeah, okay dude, yeah, that's all he said. 2 words, okay dude, and it got him suspended. This is kind of similar to when I got suspended, when that one blue-haired weirdo who also brags about deplatforming people reported me. Similar thing, similar situation, where they abuse what essentially these rules are, and they go out their way to go be offended just so they can do little stupid stuff like this. Now, the point of this video isn't to sit up here and just say that that's stupid, what this person's doing, because that's absolutely stupid. But we are at a crucial, what I'd argue, a point in, like, let's say American culture. It's not just exclusive to American culture. Zuby isn't even American. But I just want to put it there because this is where I'm at and this is where I see it. And we're at this crucial point where folks among this alphabet community, a lot of what, let's say this, let me backpedal just a little bit. It was one thing to advocate for people to stop using aggression upon you for what it is that you are or what it is that you identify as. It's one thing. And by aggression, I'm meaning like violating your personal like property rights, be it in self-ownership, so by violence or what have you, stealing from you, what, it doesn't matter. What is objectively wrong, people shouldn't be able to do that, and people should not do that simply because for any reason. It doesn't really matter what the reason is. I mean, we can actually end it there. It doesn't matter what the reason is. It's wrong. Now, it's one thing to be like against that and advocate that people stop that. It's another to feel as if everybody must accept and condone everything that it is that you do and are a part of. No other subculture has to operate like that. But for whatever reason, this community has become so sensitive in that sense. And I know this video is going to be demonetized, even though I'm not saying anything offensive, but that just goes to show where we're at here. Whereas if you say anything remotely critical of these types, you are going to be claimed, it's going to be claimed that you are homophobic, transphobic, or what have you. Anything short of just condoning everything and that it is that they do. That's silly. But as it became more, let's say, normalized, these different lifestyles and so forth, one of the fears was, and we can make the argument that it might have been extreme, it might have been silly, was that it was going to normalize other things. And it doesn't sound as silly anymore because this just happened. Now, this is allowed to exist. I'm not pressing play on this video. I'm sorry. I posted about it if you want to check it out, but I'm not playing this video. Long story short, there is a little child and a drag queen. The drag queen is dressed with his butt out, and it's disgusting, man. I gotta get this off the screen. Sorry, y'all. But that's allowed to be a thing, okay? And can't call somebody a dude, but you can get these weirdos gyrating in front of kids. You see what I'm saying? This is where folks that are among that community, that are rational human beings, have to be, at least in my honest opinion, so people don't conflate this with, again, because what people feared is happening, what's going to happen is happening. So my advice is to people among this community to speak out against this sort of nonsense where people weaponize silly stuff like pronouns. There, somebody didn't call you what you preferred to be called, and now they conflate that with harassment, violence, and all kinds of other silly stuff. You know what I mean? Just because, God forbid, somebody didn't call. Like, it's such a stupid thing for me to talk about, but that's where we're at. People are weaponizing their being offendedness. They're weaponizing that and trying to use that to do things to other people that, let's say, are unfavorable. Deplatforming them and so forth. And I'm not, saying that like Twitter doesn't have a right to kick people off their platform. They absolutely do. I mean, it's a stupid thing for them to do that while allowing this mess to be be present on Twitter and a form of social media, because that's not the first time we saw it. I mean, we've been talking about the whole drag queen story, and everybody's, it's okay, everything is fine. It's not okay, bros. It's not okay. It's not. But the reason why, and I know those events are different, I'm just talking about culturally, you're seeing what is acceptable. Okay, dude isn't acceptable, what we're moving towards, but that crap is acceptable. Gyrating drag queen in front of kids. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's a problem here, bros. There's a problem. There's a problem here. And granted, yes, Zuby caught the suspension. It's like almost point blank the same thing. It's funny, we're both black guys too. That's the funny thing. So I guess we got in the hierarchy of preference, right? That community skipped over the black folks. Now they take preference over us. All right, whatever. But it was a similar thing. I did, again, blue hair weirdo. I forget her name. Infamous. That's it. It's just like, it was a similar thing where it was a deplatform type of deal, and I fought it, and Twitter would not like budge. And the way it works is that you can't serve your suspension, whether it be for 12 hours, 24 hours, 3 days, doesn't matter, week. You can't serve it until you delete the tweet. You have to delete it. Is how it works. So people can still see your account. You're just locked. You can't tweet anything. You can't respond to anything. It's just, and you can't serve the full suspension until it doesn't, like the timer doesn't start until you delete it. They have like a remove button. And if you go watch my old videos, I talked about this. So it's a similar thing that he happened for a very similar reason. But this is what's being allowed. This crap is allowed. Again, all he said was, okay, dude. I don't even care if he purposely misgendered the person. I don't even care. No dude is, come on, I'm a dude. She's a dude. He, we're all dudes. We're all dudes, bros. We're all bros. We're all dudes. So, you're not being misgendered. But even if he purposely did that, I don't care. That's still objectively better. That's not violence. And nor is it gyrating drag queens in front of kids. That still objectively works, even if he went out of his way to call you dude. Look, I know there are fans of mine that are among the LGBT community, okay? And I encourage you guys, because in order for this, look, two things can be true. You can feel some kind of way. And by feel some kind of way, what I'm referring to is that you may think people are treating you wrongful or badly because of what you are in terms of your sexuality or whatever. That can be true, while you can also say that that's out of line. Two things can be true, right? One can be out of line and the other can be true as well. But this is nonsense, bro. It's like, the fact that I'm even having to do this video lets you know how far we've come and that this is normalized. Remember, and I guess I started to realize this kind of thing was getting weird when I did the videos and the posts about, like, putting boys in dresses and stuff, and how I'm like, that's not anything that I would ever be condoning, or like transgendered kids and stuff like that. And then you had these people, it's like, what's the problem? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, that's where we at, huh? But under no circumstance will I ever be okay with that. And if that ends up getting me banned on Twitter, YouTube, or what have you, I'm fine with that because I'm not negotiating on this. I'm not budging on this. That's not cool. Exposing your kids to this nonsense is not cool. You know what I mean? Like at that age, if they grow up and then into adult and they go get into whatever weird stuff they're into, whatever. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean I gotta condone it, but that's their right and that's freedom to do. But if we can't even accept the fact that kids should not be exposed to that lifestyle, like when I'm by that, I'm talking about the drag queens. And in terms of gyrating, like if we can't even have that conversation, we got problems, man. We got some absolute problems.